All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to tackle the one question that I get asked more than anything else from people who are just starting to think about trading. It's the biggest hurdle, so let's just clear it right now.
Yep, this is the one. How much money do I actually need to start trading? I see this in the comments, in my DMs, pretty much every single day. People are wondering, is it $100, $1,000, maybe $10,000? What's the real price to get in the game?
And the answer? Well, it's probably not what you're expecting. The perfect amount of money to start your trading journey with is zero. Yep, a big, fat zero. Now hold on, before you click away, let me break down exactly why this is the only right answer for any beginner.
Okay, so let's dive into why starting with $0 is so important. It really all comes down to avoiding what I call the beginner's trap. It's this super common mistake that honestly just wipes out way too many new traders. But the good news, it's completely avoidable.
So here's how the story usually goes, right? Someone's scrolling through social media, they see the hype, the posts, the traders with the Lambos, the big promises, and they think, hey, that looks pretty fun, I can do that. So what do? They jump headfirst into the market, maybe with their life savings, pumped full of excitement, but with absolutely zero real-world experience. And the result? Well, sadly, for most people who start this way, they lose it all. They blow up their account, they get totally discouraged, they decide trading just isn't for them, and they quit. They never try again, and they never realize just how close they were to doing it the right way.
So how do you make sure that doesn't happen to you? How do you avoid that disaster? Well, there's a secret weapon. It's the one thing that separates the pros from the 90% who fail, and guess what? It costs you absolutely nothing.
It's called paper trading. You might also hear it called a trading simulator. And the best way to think about it is like a flight simulator for a pilot. I mean, you wouldn't let a brand new pilot fly a jumbo jet full of people on day one, would you? Of course not. A trading simulator is the exact same idea. You get to trade in the real-life market, you're seeing real price changes using all the same tools, but you're doing it with completely fake money.
And I need to be crystal clear about this. This is not just some optional practice tool. This is, honestly, the most crucial, non-negotiable step to becoming a successful trader. Seriously, skipping this is like trying to build a skyscraper without putting in a foundation first. It's just going to collapse.
I mean, just look at the benefits here. You get this completely safe sandbox where you can test out everything. You can try out different strategies to see what clicks. You can practice your risk management over and over. And maybe the most important part, you learn to control your emotions, that greed and fear that messes everyone up. And you do all of this with zero financial risk. None.
Now, you're probably wondering where to find one of these. There are a bunch of options out there, but a really great, free one for beginners is Webull. Its dashboard is super user-friendly, which is exactly what you want when you're starting out. And just a heads up, this isn't a paid sponsorship or anything, it's just a solid tool that I know can get you started on the right track like today.
Okay, but here's the thing. Just having the simulator, that's not enough. You can't just mess around with it. To really, truly get the benefit, you have to practice like a pro. And that means following a very specific process. So your process really breaks down into 3 key steps. First up is your mindset. You have to treat that fake money as if it's 100% real. Every click, every decision needs to feel like it matters. Second, the logbook. You need to record every single trade you make. I mean it, no exceptions. And third, you have to analyze those trades. You have to go back and review what went right, and even more importantly, what went wrong. And look, don't just do this for a week and call it good. Your goal should be to prove to yourself that you can be consistently profitable on paper for at least 3 to 6 months before you even think about putting real money on the line. So, when I say analyze your trades, what does that actually mean? What are the key things you should be writing down in that logbook to make sure you're actually learning and getting better?
For every single trade you take, you need to ask yourself some hard questions. Like, did I get greedy here? Did my emotions take over and make me do something stupid? Did I move my stop loss? That automatic point you set to sell and cut your losses. You got to ask, did I actually follow the rules I set for myself? Being brutally honest with yourself in your answers, that's the secret sauce. That is what will speed up your learning curve like you wouldn't believe. And all of this brings us to probably the most important mindset shift you can make. When you're in that simulator, your goal isn't to make a bunch of fake money. Your real goal is to perfect your process. You have to stop focusing on what all the beginners are obsessed with and start focusing on what the professionals build their entire careers on.
And this comparison right here just lays it out perfectly. The beginner, they're focused on the money, right? The quick wins, the social media hype. But the pro? They're obsessed with their strategy. They live and breathe risk management. Their entire focus is on the process, day in and day out. Because here's the secret that a lot of people miss. Profit is a byproduct. It's just the result of having a solid, repeatable strategy and a disciplined process. If you focus like a laser on improving your strategy, on learning from every single mistake, the money part, that just comes naturally later on. It will take care of itself.
You know, committing to this process, paper trading the right way, is a total game changer. Just by taking this one simple, totally free step, you are instantly putting yourself light years ahead of hundreds of thousands of other new traders who are basically just doomed to lose their money making the same old mistakes. So, you see, the real question isn't how much money do you need to start trading. The real question is this: are you ready to actually put in the work, to follow the process, and to make your very first trade the right way for free?